Provincial Freedom Day commemoration will be held at Bethel in the Eastern Highveld. This is one area where the history of human rights abuses lies. What happened in the 1950s in Bethel should never be forgotten. Many of the farmers compelled their workers to dig up the potato harvest with their bare hands, and those who could not keep up or became exhausted were beaten unmercifully. The men and women who died either from the beatings or the cruel manual labor were allegedly buried out in the open fields with the members of their own families, sometimes having to load their bodies into the earth. Recently, a farm owner demolished a house belonging to a blind pensioner. The house was donated by former Premier David Mabuza. Our reporter Dumelo Machoho filed this report.
While celebrations are underway here in Bethel in Mpumalanga, where the province is also celebrating with the rest of the country, celebrating this Freedom Day, the Premier of the province, Ms. Refilwe Mtsweni, and also the MEC of Sports and Recreation in the province, Ms. Thandi Shong, where they are also expected to come here. Refilwe Mtsweni will give the address to the community here in Bethel, and also those who have come from across the province to come and celebrate this day here in Bethel. But let's speak more with children who also came down here to come and celebrate this day with the rest of the people who have come here. This little girl, how old are you and what do you know about this day?
I am 15 years old, and what I know about this day is it's a Freedom Day, is to make other nations get together, you understand? Because when we don't get together, then this nation is nothing at all, because we have to be a combination to other races and other people and other nations.
Oh, fantastic, very well spoken. When a young lady, just talk to us about what do you know about this day and what do you know about 1994 and the first time that we went to vote on this day?
Okay, all I know is that this day commemorates freedom and us being able to have access to be ourselves and be free. Okay, now that we voted in 1994, we have access to health care, access to housing, and access to many more other things now that people voted for their rights on this day.
Oh, fantastic. Very well spoken. And also there, young children talking about the access to health, talking about access to water, access to medication and everything that have been allowed here. And also, Ndati, when I just talked to us about on the day, where were you on this day and how old were you on 1994 on this day?
Yeah, it was so significant. I was 20 years old in 1994 when I first voted, and there were so many expectations that we were looking forward to our new government. When you look in terms of the Freedom Charter, that promised us access to education, access to health, economy, and so forth. So we voted, and I'm also very happy today that this day, it reminds us the day in which we voted in 1994, and it also prepares us for voting on the 8th of May. As we all understand, as we all know, the other people, the other government ruled for 342 years. This government only ruled for 25 years. So it's only better if we only give them another chance, because as much as we have many expectations, we cannot finish everything in 25 years. So this is a very, very important day for the people of Government here, the people of Mpumalanga, and the people of South Africa. We are so happy that we are celebrating. In parts of Africa, this is one of called the Independence Day. So in South Africa, it is Freedom Day. So we feel exuberant. We are so happy about the day.
Okay, thank you so much. When I just talk to us about to us in that day, you were here also. You voted as the first Indians in around this community. Yes. But talk to us about, do you still think that the people they're still interested in voting, and also in the fact that, you know, like we've been celebrating 20 years of democracy and freedom, and do you still think that we still have that access to that freedom?
Yes, we have access, but I still feel that the enthusiasm that we experienced in 1994 when we voted for the first time is not exactly the same as now. Now people are more dejected and things like that. So some people even, they said, no, we are not going to vote. We are not going to vote. But as the previous speaker was saying, things have changed, and but not to the same extent. In fact, in some of the places, like here in Ipsizoni, the roads are not tarred, the potholes. There's so many things that have not changed much since democracy.
But do you feel like you as a person, you are now free to do whatever you want to do?
Yes, definitely. Before we were restricted in terms of going to places and so on, and doing so many things, mixing with other races, going to schools and that. So all those things have changed. We have more opportunities. We can express ourselves. There's much more things we can go to, more places to visit, and so on and so on.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, communities here also talking about issues that have been that they were faced with when they were like young and young children, when they just started voting, and also the expectation that they had after the 1994 and also on this day. There's a lot of jubilation around here. There's a lot of music coming from the tent because that's where the main event is going to take place. The MEC and the Premier have not arrived yet, but when they arrive, we expect the program to get underway. Back to you.